Hey there guys, welcome to a new vlog. If you are new here, my name is Kim. I'm a third year, 5th grade teacher in West Michigan, and I'm back with a vlog. Woohoo! Yeah! Last week, I actually took a break from vlogging. I don't think I picked up my camera like even once last week. I have honestly just been feeling very overwhelmed, and I always feel kind of overwhelmed this time of year as conferences come and go and report cards come up, and we always have a professional development the day before Halloween or the day of Halloween, depending on what day of the week it falls on. So we had professional development this past Friday, and I presented at one of the sessions, and so that was a lot of extra work to prepare for that. It was all virtual, but still I needed to like prepare my slides and everything and then present for an hour, and so it was a lot of extra work. And so anyways, I'm hoping that this week will be a little bit easier. I honestly don't know. We're preparing for a test. I have a student who is leaving this week at some point, I believe. I don't know a for sure date yet, but I believe this is his last week, and so I need to make sure I have everything ready for him to go whenever he leaves for another district. So anyways, hopefully this week will be easier. I'm not like counting on it, but I am hopeful. So let me know in a comment below, how are you doing right now, especially if you are a teacher, whether you're teaching in person or hybrid or online. Are you like overwhelmed and super busy all the time right now, or is it going okay? I would love to hear, but I always feel like this time of year just ends up being kind of stressful and jam-packed, but that is a-okay. We are swimming through it. But I did want to show you guys a couple of the things that we did last week Thursday, which was when we did our little like Halloween day. This year I do have all of my students celebrating Halloween, which is really nice. This is the first year that I've had that, and so I wanted to do some fun things with my students. The first thing that we did was we made this super cute little bat headband. I got these on Teachers Pay Teachers. I will link the shop below, and they actually have wings that flap. Like, come on, you guys, how stinking cute. And I was a little worried that my 5th graders would think this was like silly and not want to wear it, but they loved it. They were like all wearing them on the bus and like really proud to like rep it when they were walking out to the bus with the little wings flapping. So, you know, it was a really good time. So they made these during read aloud, and they were pretty easy. They just colored the wings black and the little ears black, and then cut them out and glued them onto just a piece of scrapbook paper. And I want to say this was only like a couple of dollars off of Teachers Pay Teachers, so totally worth it. I want to do one for like every day of the week now, because like, come on you guys, that is so fun. Like, I could just wear this every day. So, and then another thing that we did, because we had Leadership Day, so basically what that is like our PBIS reward. So we actually made our own little haunted houses, and they just made them out of like lunch bags. I didn't think to take any pictures, but I do have the Teachers Pay Teachers product that I'll link below as well. But basically it was from one of the clip art stores, I can't remember which one, but they had these really cool little like clip art haunted house type things that you could color in, and then the kids cut them out and designed their very own little haunted house. And then I gave them candy to put inside their little haunted house, and like a Halloween pencil and all that fun stuff. It was super fun, and we also watched Halloween Town while we were working on some of that stuff. And then we did spooky stations throughout the day. So I did spooky stations for ELA, and then I did spooky stations for math, and the kids had a ton of fun. I had a ton of fun, and even though we were like learning throughout the day and we were still like getting the same concepts that we normally would, it just felt like a really fun way to kind of switch it up. And I feel like this year it's been hard to do like stations because the kids can't really like move around. So what I did is I just assigned like certain quadrants of the room were doing things at a certain time. So like one area, then there was a middle area, and then the furthest area. So there was like 3 stations that they got to do. They didn't actually move, but the supplies would move if they needed supplies. And then just, you know, wiping them down in between each one and all that stuff. So it is a lot of extra steps to do stations, but I still really enjoy it. So it was fun to be able to make that work. And other than that, I really don't think I have anything too monumental to share with you. Just that our little bat day went really well. Life is good, life is stressful, life is overwhelming, but it's still good. So that's good. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take my little bat headband and fly out, and I will see you guys when I see you. So, now it's Saturday. Okay, so it is Saturday. However, I have a good reason for not vlogging this week, and it's mostly just because I didn't come in very early this week. Normally when I film, it's before school starts, and this week I just didn't come in super early. Usually if I come in early, I can get my filming done and stuff before really anybody else is in the building. However, I've been showing up around the same time as my partner teacher next door, and I adore her. She is wonderful, and so guess what I do when she comes in? I just talk. I just talk and I talk and I talk and I talk, and then I don't really get any filming done. So really what I need to do is just start coming in earlier. I haven't even really been like sleeping in at all. I've just been like putzing around my house, and so that has prohibited me from filming. But I also honestly did not have a great week, you guys. There were a lot of external factors this week, as I'm sure we all have had this week. Don't even need to say it, but it was a lot. So anyways, the external factors, not even just school stuff, obviously keeping me up at night, stressing me out, just like, you know, the entire United States. However, there also was just some weird school stuff where like, I just had a few moments this week where I'm like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like a good teacher. And typically like I'm pretty self-confident, like pretty aware that like I have a lot to learn and stuff, but also that I'm doing my best and that I'm a good teacher to my kids. And this week, like there were just a couple moments where I just didn't really feel that. Also just like some lessons that didn't go how I expected. I will say yesterday we had a good day. We did trash get ball for math review. And so the kids got to write their answers on a piece of paper and then crumple them up and try to like make a basket. That was really fun. We actually have a math test coming up this upcoming week, and so that was a good way to just get in some more review and kind of just change it up a little bit, because I think we've just had too much of the same thing, and I think the kids are having a hard time. Like they need a break too. This is a long time to go without a break. At my school, we don't have any sort of like fall break or anything. We just have like Thanksgiving coming up in a few weeks. Though I will say, the kids did just have last week Friday off, like not yesterday for me, but the week before. Teachers didn't, but kids did. So I guess they got a little bit of a break, but I don't know. I just think everybody's feeling it right now. And then I lost a student yesterday who switched to another district. And then last week I lost a student who switched to another building within my district. And so like, I don't know, it's just been sad. Like you build these connections and these relationships and then the kids leave, and it's just really, really sad. So I have been having a little bit of trouble this week, just feeling like a good teacher and feeling happy and you know, whatever. So anyways, this week was tough. Not all weeks are good weeks, and that is a-okay. Sometimes we're gonna have bad weeks, and if any teacher says that they never have bad weeks, they're lying. Or if any human says that, they're lying, because that's not true, that's not real. So yeah, not a great week, but we did have some great things that happened this week as well. We had some really great learning. We played that trash get ball game, which was so fun. And then also I just had a Scholastic order come in. So I did put it out yesterday, so a bunch of the books were already checked out, but I will grab the ones that have not been checked out yet, and I will show you guys what I got. So let me go grab that and then we will see. Okay, so I decided to sit down so I can just like really show you these books. I realized that some of them are already checked out, so I'll try to like insert a picture to show you those ones at some point, but super excited about the ones that I got. The first one that I got is another Babysitter's Club graphic novel. My kids are obsessed with these, and one of my students especially was asking for more of these, so I wanted to make sure to pick up another one, and this was one that we didn't have in our classroom library yet. I also got a 3-pack of the I Survived the California Wildfire, and I thought this would be a good one to add for like book club books. I think I got this pack for free. I think I was able to pick out 2 of the 3-book packs because of my like order size. So I got this one, and then I also got a 3-pack of 3 Keys, which I'm so excited about because we're reading Front Desk, which is the first book in this series, as our read aloud book right now. So I know my kids are gonna be so stoked to have the second copy of this, or second book. And I actually ordered an extra one too. So I'll have 4 of these for the kids to check out once we finish our whole group read aloud, which is awesome. They're really, really enjoying this one and just making some really like neat connections with it as well. I also got 5 copies of How to Steal a Dog. I love, love, love this book. If you haven't read this one before, it's a really good one. This will be a perfect book club book or like literature circle book. So really excited for those. I also picked up a bunch of the Amulet books because the kids were requesting more of these. This is a very, very popular series in my classroom. These are like comic book graphic novels. If you can see that. My 4th graders loved these too. So super excited to have these. I got books 1 through 8. And also, I don't think I mentioned yet, but I bought these books with money from my PTO, which is really awesome. So I was able to get a bunch of books, and I didn't actually have to pay for them. The school paid for them, or like the PTO did. However, if I ever like move to a different school or something like that, these books will stay here because the school bought them. So then I got 2 of the original Babysitter's Club, just with new like covers or whatever, new illustrations, and I just thought it would be fun to add these to my library. These were the $1 of the week book when I was ordering, so got 2 of those for $2. And then let's see, what else did I get? I also picked up this book, which is called Hope, and I just thought this would be a cute one to add to the library. I honestly haven't heard anything about it. It just looked like a good one, and I thought my kids would enjoy it, so I'm sure they'll like this one. Those are all of the books that I have with me, but I did also pick up a I Survived graphic novel, which my kids were super stoked about. They already have a waiting list of like who gets to check it out once the first kid is done with it. So they're super excited about that one, and I hope they keep making more of those because it looked really high quality, and my kids already love like the regular I Survived series, so they were really excited to see that one. And then I also picked up another copy of The Jumbies. I owned that one already, but I don't think I got it returned last year, and so one of my students who I actually had last year had emailed me and he wanted to check it out, and I didn't have it in my classroom library anymore, so I was like, I'll just buy another copy. And then I bought the second book in the series too, which I'm not sure of the name of that one off the top of my head, but I dropped those both off on his porch this past week, and he was really excited to have those, so he'll just return them to me when he's done, or I'll go pick them up from his porch again when he's done with those. So it was really nice to see him like through the window and wave and all that fun stuff. Also, I wanted to share this book with you guys, and this one is called Granddaddy's Turn, A Journey to the Ballot Box. This is a phenomenal book that I had the opportunity to read to my kids this week. I thought it was very fitting for election week, and it just shows the story of Granddaddy right here, and it's through the perspective of his grandson, which is this boy right here. So his granddaddy goes to vote, and he's the only black person in line to vote. And this little boy is going with his granddaddy. His granddaddy is so excited. He's so happy and so proud to be able to vote. But then when he gets to his polling place, let me show you right here. So he's waiting in this line, and you can tell it's in the South, and we talked about like using clues from the pictures. Like, how can you tell looking at this picture that this story took place in the South? So we talked about the images that we saw, and then also what do you notice about that line? And right away my kids noticed like, oh, Granddaddy and then his grandson are the only two black people in the line. Other than that, it's all white people, mostly white men, a couple of white women though as well. And then he's waiting in line. It's a long line. People keep cutting in front of him. And then finally he gets up to the ballot box, and the sheriff who's working at the polling location asks him to read a book like that he pulls out and says, oh, if you can't read, then you don't get to vote. And so my kids and I talked about like, is this a true story? Like, did this happen? Does it still happen today? Like, is voter suppression still a thing today? And it was just such a good conversation to have with students. And then at the end of the book, it's really cute because the grandson grows up and his granddaddy has passed away. There's a picture of him voting. He didn't actually get to cast his ballot, but his first time going to vote. And his grandpa actually passed away before he ever got to vote. And so now the grandson is waiting in line, and his vote is going to both support him, but also in legacy of his grandfather as well. And so when he brings his ballot up to the box, he's holding a picture of his grandfather. And my kids were just like so, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, they're just such empathetic, compassionate children. Like, I just have like the most amazing group of kids, and they were just so moved by this. And they were just really like, Mrs. Halls, that's not fair. Like why wasn't he able to vote just because he couldn't read? Like, could the other people in line read? And we talked about that, and we talked about like how unfair it was, but also that like, I always try to emphasize to my students, like, there's still so much work to be done. Like, the United States is not a perfect place to be. And if we love this country that we're living in, like, we should want to make it even better. And we talked about how voter suppression is still so real and happens in so many places. And there was some really good information at the end too that I did go ahead and read to my kids. So if you haven't already picked up this book or already read it, I would highly recommend this. It just brought for such great conversation amongst my students, and I really let it be just student-led. Like, I would ask them questions, and then they would kind of talk about it. And a lot of my kids wanted to read it again after we finished, so I just put it on the whiteboard, and then they had an opportunity to read it during like our independent reading time. So such a good book, definitely very impactful for students, and written in a way that students are able to understand and also like read the pictures as well. So I love this book. I can't say that enough. You should definitely get this one if you don't own it already. Okay, other than that, the other thing that I need to tackle today is I need to clean my back room. It has gotten to be such a mess, like horrific. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed to even show it to you guys, but I need to clean it out, and I thought that would be a fun thing to show on camera. I don't know if it actually will be, we'll have to wait and see, but I think I'm gonna prop you guys up in my back room and then just start cleaning, because it is really bad, you guys. Like, please try to not judge me. I've been very stressed, and when I'm stressed and I don't like know where to put something, I just throw it in my back room. because I'm like, out of sight, out of mind. Like, at least it's not bugging the kids, you know? So anyways, it's gotten really, really bad. So we're gonna head back there. We're gonna do some cleaning. It's gonna be fine. And then I think I'm probably going to head out. I'll see if there's anything else I wanna like show you guys while I'm here. But other than that, I think that's about it. So let's head to the back room. Let's do some classroom cleaning. Okay, I'm like kind of nervous to even show you guys this, but remember, it's been a hard couple of weeks. Okay, here we go. And it's gonna get cleaned up tonight. That's the plan. Oh my goodness. All right, so I like don't even know what to say about all this, you guys. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Like that wagon is full of stuff that needs to go to my car. Just random stuff that needs to be organized. A bunch of times I'll like run in here to grab something because all my supplies are back here, and then I don't really have time to like put stuff away, or I choose not to because I'm like teaching kids. It's so bad, you guys. Like all of this. My trash can's literally on a chair right now, not really sure why. We have all this stuff over here. My whole back desk is just filled. We have deodorant just sitting out. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So I need to try to fix this because this is most definitely a problem. Lighting is so bad. Okay. Looks like I don't have eyebrows in this lighting, but we're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna be fine. Maybe if I go like that. Here I am. Okay, my space angle so you can actually see what I'm doing. Here we go. Okay, so I'm almost done cleaning up, like super close. You can see my desk again, but I want to show you guys I am watching Shakira, who is Saved by the Bell here on YouTube, and she is seriously one of my favorite humans on the entire earth. I'm obsessed with her vlogs, and if you like watching teaching vlogs like mine, you definitely need to check her out. She's just adorable, and she, I don't know, she just always like brings me so much joy when I watch her videos, so I will link her below. Check her out. Look at how stinking cute she is. We love to see it. I have my headphones in so you can't hear her, but oh my gosh, how cute is she? Okay, so I think I finished just about everything I'm gonna do in here tonight. So this is a really small room, so it's hard to show, but I cleaned off my desk, moved some stuff around. I also hung some stuff up on this chalkboard. It is magnetic, which is super handy, so I just have a couple things hanging. I hung up my cute little headbands, which I love. These two right here were gifted to me from Festive Gal, and I am obsessed. I seriously want more. I think they're so cute. I have my Yay Monday one, and then Show What You Know, which is so fun to wear during like tests and quizzes and all that fun stuff. This honestly still could be organized better, but it's good enough for now. At least I can find what I'm looking for easily enough. Have my little stuffed animals up there. I did push this table against this like collapsible wall thing because honestly I haven't pulled students back here like at all, and so I don't really feel the need to have it like up by my desk because I'm not really using it, but I do sometimes use it just as like a hard surface to like work on cutting things out and stuff like that. So I wanted to still have it in here, but I just pushed it up against the wall. I know I still have like a ton of boxes in here, but I don't really want to get rid of them just in case I ever need them again, so I just have them in there. And then look at all the floor space, so fun. Then I just organized that little area. That box out there is stuff that I'm gonna drop off at Goodwill at some point, just some stuff that I was gifted just from like other teachers in the past, like teachers who are retiring and stuff like that, just stuff I don't need anymore. So yes, but the space is looking really good, much better than it was, so I am pleased. Also, when I was going through things in my back room, I realized I never put out my little collapsible anchor chart 5 detail retail thing that I usually like to have near my back table for when I'm doing progress monitoring for reading, because part of that involves doing a retell. So I'm excited to have this out, and I think it'll definitely be helpful for the kids to have those sentence starters. So yay for finding this. Kind of zoom it in so you can see what's on here. So I think that's all from me here tonight because it is starting to get pretty late, and I really just want to focus on getting my back room cleaned up and then filming a little bit today as well, and I accomplished both of those things, so that's good news. I still need to finish making a couple copies for this Monday, but honestly I could probably do that Monday morning or maybe come in tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what happens. Also, did I tell you guys I finally got my 40 book challenge wall up and running, so that's exciting. So those are the kids' little book stacks back there. I don't want to get too close because I do have their pictures up there, but basically they just fill out a little slip of paper each time that they complete a book, and then they color it in with whichever color crayon corresponds to the genre of book they've read, and they write the book title on it, and then they staple it above their name, and it's just like a graph of how many books they've read this year. So the kids are getting super into it. They love, love, love tracking their books on there and talking to each other about what books they've read, and it's just been a really fun way for them to document that. So I love having that big huge whiteboard, or that big huge bulletin board back there, so the kids are able to do that. So that's been really fun. So that is all for me for this vlog. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already, and turn on that post notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. I would love to have you around. Make sure to leave me a comment below letting me know how you're doing. Are you hanging in there? What's been stressful or hard for you, or what has been keeping you sane? I especially would love some ideas for self-care because I've been having a really hard time taking care of myself lately, and honestly it shows. I just feel like lately I've been trying to pour from an empty cup, and you cannot do that. It is impossible. So it's just been very challenging lately. So I would love some ideas for self-care, preferably just like free things, because I feel like my go-to self-care is like spending money, which is not always the most helpful. So what do you like to do just to take care of yourself and keep yourself positive and sane during the school year, especially when so many different things are going on? I would love to know in a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!